Hey everyone, we are here to have week 3 of new learning. And week 4 of new learning for geometry is going to be broken up into 3 different videos, 3 really main topics. There's probably about 5 or 6 topics we could probably have, but that would just be way too much, way too overwhelming. We may be able to integrate some of those topics that we don't get done this week into next week or another week, but we're going to focus on 3 main topics. So we're going to have video 1 of 3. 2 topics kind of intertwined together for the main topic. We've got central angles, we've got types of arcs. As always, go Titans. But right now, I need you guys to take notes. So I need you to get something to write with, something to write on. Also, if you have a calculator or if you're using your cell phone as a calculator, that would be great to have out as well because there are going to be a few calculations. Maybe not always as tons and tons for this video, but there will be for other videos. So just you want to definitely take notes, want to write things down. You want to be able to pause the video, and it'll give you an opportunity to answer some questions on your own. So go ahead right now, pause the video, get something to write with, something to write on if you don't have it, and click back in just a second. Welcome back to our video here. I want you right now to go ahead and first just copy what you see right here. We're going to copy this circle. You can make it fairly large, up to you. Depends how big you want to make it, how much space you want to take up. But we're going to start off with making a circle. The center of our circle is going to be C. So C is our center, so we write this as actually putting a circle, a dot in it, and putting a C there. And that simply just means circle C. Okay. So go ahead and copy the circle, copy A and B on the circle. Those are endpoints. C in the middle. Just kind of use your eye to judge best what you think the center is, where the center's at. Label that C. And then we're going to have a random point right here we're going to label as D. So on our circle, we've got A, B, C, D. As you notice, we have an angle that's coming from the center. So we are going to call angle ACB a central angle. So angle ACB is called a central angle. Okay. Now these endpoints on the circle are very important because anytime you have endpoints, points that are on a circle, they are going to create distances in degrees between them that we call measuring the angle of an arc. So we have lengths of arcs, but we also have degrees around the circle, so we can find the measurement of arcs. Well, kind of to help us understand better what arcs are, let's use the middle of our board right here. I'm going to just basically give you a little background on types of arcs. So the first one I want you to write down is a minor arc. And a minor arc is any arc that's less than 180 degrees. Okay, not equal to 180, but less than 180, of course, bigger than 0. So that's a minor arc. Our next one is going to be a major arc. Major arcs are greater than 180 degrees. Again, not equal to 180, greater than 180, but they're going to be less than 360. So greater than 180, less than 360, that's going to be a major arc. And our last one is going to be a semicircle. And that is when it equals exactly 180. So we've got the less than 180, the greater than 180, the exactly equals to 180. Okay. So now that we have a little background on what types of arcs we have, let's take a look at this one. This AB, just by looking at it, not knowing anything else, do we think it's minor, major, or semi? Anyone? I think I heard an answer. Yes, I heard minor. Okay. So we're going to say that arc AB, and that's a little arc symbol right there, is a minor arc. And the cool thing about it is the central angle in degrees is always going to be equal to the arc that what's called intercept, that it intercepts. So this angle intercepts the arc. And what happens then is I can just fill this in right here. I can say that the measure of arc AB is also 50 degrees. Okay, so the central angle is 50 degrees. The arc is going to be 50 degrees. It's a minor arc, so we say the angle ACB intercepts the arc, or another way to say it is that we say arc AB is subtended by the angle. They're like colliding and running into each other. Okay. One more thing about this one, we're going to move on to another one. Can anybody tell me what is going to be the measure of arc ADB? Arc ADB. Anybody know how many degrees that is? We'll give you a second to think about it. Arc ADB. Anyone? 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 Yes, I heard the answer. 310 degrees. So this is 310 degrees, and it's a major arc. So 310 degrees, more than 180, less than 360, that's a major arc. Okay, so ADB, major arc. AB was a minor arc. And then we would say the measure of ADB is 310. So let's move over now to this one. Slide our camera over. By the way, I'm in my kitchen, just in case anybody was wondering where I'm at. I'm quarantined in my house. This is my kitchen, and I'm just writing on the walls. That's what we do here in quarantine time. We write on walls. So our next one here, I want to copy down another circle, different circle. Center of this circle is F. Endpoints, points on the circle. We've got E, C, and D. And I do want you to know then, so it's circle F, but DE is the diameter. DE is the diameter. That's very important. Okay. Another name for a diameter, we're going to get into this more in the next video, is a chord. So a chord is any segment that has its endpoints that are on two endpoints. Both of those endpoints are on the circle. Okay. So we say DE is a diameter. It's also a chord. We know then we do have a central angle right here. So I know that angle CFD is 80 degrees. I also know that the measure of arc CD is 80 degrees. So now my question for you guys is, I've got three things. I want to know, what is the measure of arc EC? What is the measure of arc CED? And what is the measure of arc DCE? Okay, so go ahead and I'm going to hit pause on the video, answer these three questions. We're back. Let's see all those correct answers that you hopefully just got on your own, and we'll put them up here on the board. So let's see. First, we got EC. Anyone have the answer? I think I heard it from my computer screen. I could hear it. Not sure who it was, but I heard somebody say, Mr. List, it's 100 degrees. Measure of arc EC is 100 degrees. I totally agree with you. So we are going to go with 100 degrees. And that is a minor arc. Minor arc is less than 180. Next one, CED. That's going to be a big arc here because we're going to go from C to E to D, C to E to D. Well, I know that since DE is a diameter, it's half the circle. That's a semicircle. That's 180 degrees. So I'm just going to fill that in with 180 right there. So I'm going to have to add up, in this particular case, let me go back and add in the 100 there, okay? And I'm going to add up 100 and 180 together, and that's going to be 280. So I can tell, everybody else out there can tell, you got 280. And that is a major or minor arc? Anybody? Anybody? Major? Got major arc. Good job. Our last one is DCE. DCE. So from D to C to E, that one is going to be 180 degrees. So we're going to write down 180. And that is a semicircle. Okay. Questions on that one? Good. We have one final problem. We want you, I'm going to have you copy it down right here, and then we'll pause. I'll pause the video, so I'll let you work on it, and we'll end with this one. So copy one more circle. The center of our circle is going to be P, so circle P. And R and T are going to be on opposite sides of the circle, so when you draw a line, that is the diameter. So from R to P to T is a straight line. So you have R and T, and then don't forget about S. And we do have a central angle here. So I know that angle RPS is going to be 110 degrees. RPS is 110. So what do I need you guys to tell me on this one? Okay. Here's what I'm looking for. I want to know what is the measure of arc TS and what type of an arc is it. So I want to know what is TS, what type of arc. I also want to know what is the measure of RTS, so measure of RTS. And then the last one, I want to know what is the measure of RST. Measure of RST. And I also want to know what type of an arc both of them are. Okay, so one more time, we're going to go ahead, hit pause on the video, answer these, and come back, and we'll make sure that everyone has all the right answers. All right, let's go back and check your answers just to make sure finally we're set, we're solid with all this material, so we can move on to another video. So here we go. Let's check it out, see what we got here. I want to know what is the measure of our TS. To get the measure of our TS, I need to know what the measure of angle SPT is. So SPT, well, it's going to be supplementary to 110. 180 minus 110 is going to be 70 degrees. If angle SPT is 70 degrees, then arc TS, the measure of arc TS, is also going to be 70 degrees. So that's 70 degrees. What type of an arc is it? Well, it's minor. It's a minor arc. Okay. Next one, RST. RST. Well, I'm going to have to add these two together. I've got 110 and 70. That's 180. You can actually see, remember, it's half of the circle, though, because it's the diameter. It's just that intercepted arc that's being subtended from that. So what that means, it's 180 degrees. So I've got 180 degrees. What do we call that again? That is semicircle. And finally, I've got RTS. Well, this one's going to go from R to T to S. Got a big conglomerate of lines here. R to T is going to be 180. That's, again, a semicircle. And then we're going to add in the 70 to that. 180 plus 70 is going to be 250 degrees. How many got 250? I bet it was everybody. What type of an arc is that? Well, that's a major arc. 250 is a major arc. It's bigger than 180 degrees. So that's going to wrap up video one. Hopefully, we're just kind of getting you the basics again of what's a central angle, understanding that the arc that it intercepts is the same as that, understanding that we have three different types of arcs, minor, major, and semi, and that sometimes we're going to do a lot of angle addition or arc measurement addition to kind of work your way around that 360 degrees that encompasses a circle to be able to figure out how many degrees around a circle you go based off of the angles. Okay? So our next video is going to involve finding the lengths of arcs. Okay? And then we'll have one more video after that, which is a surprise for you. So go ahead and end this one, and there's going to be a link for another one. So get ready for some more excitement. I can't promise you that, but I'll do the best I can. Thanks, video number one.